All right, today we're going to dive into a phone call that Dave Ramsey takes from a listener who's wanting to know if he should buy a piece of real estate. Let's listen in and see what points David tries to convey and some counterpoints from yours truly. 3, 2, 1, off you go.
About maybe buying an apartment, an investment property for $200,000, and I kind of just want you guys' advice if I'm ready for it, not ready for it, or maybe I should just put it on the back burner.
Okay. Are you out of debt, and are you going to pay cash for the apartment?
So sorry, I should tell you my situation. So currently I have 2 jobs. My income, I have about 3 incomes. My salary is about $200,000, more or less. And I also, the house that I currently live in, I make about $3,000 comes in total. My only debt is my mortgage and my wife's car, which is about $25,000.
Okay. All right. Well, Pierre, I own a bunch of real estate. I love real estate. Rachel's husband is in the real estate business. They own a bunch of real estate. And both these families sitting here love real estate as an investment.
All right, point number 1, leverage isn't the enemy. Lack of control is.
The rule we live by is we pay cash for it, or we don't buy it. And we only start buying investment real estate after we're 100% debt-free, home and everything.
So Dave says the rule we live by is we pay cash or we don't buy it. I say paying cash is just one way to avoid risk, but it's not the most strategic. The real risk comes from the lack of control. With the infinite rent system, I become the source of financing and I'm not begging a bank. I get to decide the terms. That's what true control looks like.
That's the rule we live by. But having done that, you will thoroughly love the real estate business when you get into it. It sounds like you want to do it. But if you buy this apartment right now, it's probably going to cause you financial problems, not blessings, because you're broke.
Peace of mind comes from liquidity, not just being debt free.
You got a freaking car payment. You don't go buy a $200,000 rental property.
So I could pay, so a little more in my situation. I understand it. A little more situation. I have $50K in the bank.
Then write a check and pay off your car today.
When Dave says you got a freaking car payment, don't go buy a $200,000 rental. I get it. Stress happens when cash is tight, but peace of mind doesn't come from being debt free. It comes from knowing you can access capital at any time on your terms. With an overfunded policy, I've got liquid funds that aren't frozen by banks or subject to credit pools. That's peace.
Understood. I could do that, and
yeah, you should do that.
I also had another question for you. Also, so I was thinking of saving up to $100K, and actually pulling a HELOC on my house. I know you're really against it, but I feel like it would be a lot easier to pull the HELOC out the house. How I have I have money coming in from the rental of my primary residence.
Pierre, are you 24?
I'm actually 32.
32. Okay. Because you sound like I sounded when I was 24. I used to say stuff
ambitious.
Like that. I used to say stuff like that when I was broke, and it made me broker. Okay. Because here's what you're not anticipating. You're not anticipating all the things that are going to go wrong when you own a rental property, and the renters that don't pay. And now you got a HELOC on your house, and now you have to come home and tell your wife we're losing the house because the apartment deal went sideways and we're getting foreclosed on. You don't want to have that conversation. I'm so stupid I had that conversation when I was your age.
So when Dave says, now you have to tell your wife you're losing the house because the deal went sideways, you know, he really paints this worst case scenario. And sure, if you're recklessly leveraged, that can happen. But I'm not talking about toxic bank loans. I'm using my policy loans backed by my capital. And the assets I buy still produces income. I'm not gambling. I'm multiplying. There's a difference.
And you don't want to have that conversation. You want to do this debt free, but you're going to go ahead and do it. So I hope it works out for you. I don't think it's going to. And you asked me, so I told you the truth because I love you. I don't think you should do this. I think it's a really, really bad idea. But I don't think I can stop you. I think you're going to go learn the lesson the hard way. Some of us are knuckleheads, and it's just how it works. We have to get bonked on the head to catch it.
Pierre might be listening and might be reconsidering. We don't know.
He's not.
Because I think what's difficult is in the present, all of that sounds good, right? Like you can line it up a situation and say, oh, if this hits in there and I have that and that carpet, da 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 da, and it's all working, all these moving pieces. And here's the problem too, Pierre. When you start leveraging yourself like that, statistics show us and studies are showing us that stress goes up, anxiety goes up, lack of sleep starts to occur. And you're trading your peace of mind for complications of trying to build wealth. And you're doing it in a really fast way and in an ineffective way because it's going to cause other issues in other parts of your life. So be as peaceful as possible, pay off the car, work and pay down your mortgage, and then say, hey, let's save up and buy. And in 10 years, 5, 10, 15 years, you guys could be wheeling and dealing and it's all your money and with a lot of peace.
So this idea of 10 to 15 years, you'll be wheeling and dealing and it'll all be your money. Why wait 15 years to get your money moving? Why say no to every opportunity until some arbitrary debt-free milestone? With a properly structured policy, I create a now and later strategy. Growth today, growth tomorrow, and liquidity always. I don't need to pause wealth building. I accelerate it.
So just do it the right way. Everything you're talking about can be done. Just slow it down and do it with cash instead.
So when Rachel says, just slow it down and do it with cash instead, I say, waiting 10 to 15 years to buy with cash, that's 10 to 15 years of compounding lost. That's opportunities missed. With the infinite rent system, my money grows inside my policy even while I deploy it into real estate. I don't have to choose between growing and using. I get both.
The best way to get rich quick, get rich slow.
So when he says the best way to get rich quick is to get rich slow, I kind of agree with that. But I'm not chasing get rich quick. I'm chasing get free with control. Real freedom isn't just about having no debt. It's about owning your system, creating options, and using leverage responsibly. That's what the infinite rent system gives you. And that's what banks and corporations like McDonald's do. So if you enjoy what you heard, if what I said resonated with you, and if you're ready to level up, then be sure to follow me. Like I always say, when you control your income, you control your outcome. To your prosperity.